Oh, wait. I got to do it now. Wait. This is going to be funny. Wait. You ready? I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional. Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today, we shall be saying goodbye, to a sense, to The Chi with Season 6, Episode 8, as this is their mid-season finale. Did it live up to our expectations? Let's find out. Kevin is definitely not going to be around anymore. Yeah, I'm okay with that. But anyway, let's talk about it. Jamani, let's start with Kevin. I want to start with Kevin. What'd you think of Kevin's swan song, if you will?
I thought it was heartfelt. I'm like, I thought he would have gone out with a little bit more of a bang, or like had more of a storyline this season. He just seemed like he's just been hanging around in the background, but I guess it makes it easier for him to just like fade away with him not having such a big character arc this season. But as you can see with my background, what made this episode better than Force, or just one of the best episodes ever, was their shout out to the show Southside with the repossession, rent to own, rent-a-center type of character that was on Southside. That's what that show was about. So they used to wear blue shirts, so I know this guy was wearing a red shirt, so I guess they didn't want to have any intellectual property issues or whatever, but it was still a shout out to another Chicago show that just recently got canceled from HBO Max, Southside.
I think Marcus knows, besides the silly shout out, this was a good episode with the flashbacks. Yes, they had the mover guy from Southside, which was hilarious. I had no idea. Jamani sent it. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay, and I don't know. I never
because
heard
that's something that it's what do you call it? More of a comedy. So that's what the character would have done in that show. That's the wrong date. Oh, but we're still doing it anyway. And and it's like we're going out of business, so it goes to the show being canceled earlier this year.
That's good. I know how long it lasted. Chris,
it was on since 2019.
Oh, wow. I was like, maybe we'll check it out. Maybe. Chris, what do you think of Kevin's goodbye?
He gave me this whole Will Smith final episode vibes.
I get that.
But no, because I actually looked up his the kid's IG and whatnot, and I get he is moving on to other roles. Matter of fact, he got another movie that's actually coming out soon. So. So that's essentially what it is. He's gone. He's gone. You know what I mean? So I don't like how I don't like how he went out, and mostly because of, I'm sorry, I'm not over the fact that the whole gaming thing, like, because he went to LA to get, it's just funny because here's the deal. Just think how ironic it is. It's ironic because it's supposed to showcase how this kid grew. This little kid grew up, and now he's a grown man, so he can grow up to play video games. sorry. Just think of how I'm sorry. It's just ironic.
Think about that. Just think about it.
Just let it marinate of what he's doing. Years. Why he's leaving Chicago. He's like, I'm a grown man, and I'm playing video games. Yeah. Bars. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Whatever, but the other real issue I had, they showed all his stuff. He was reminiscing. I am sorry, I'm not over this. Braden.
Disrespect
Braden
showed
was
his funeral.
huge.
They
Yeah,
showed
you show his
funeral.
casket, but you show the casket that coming. And
This
I was
is
so
right up there
pissed.
with Ghost. This is the kind of disrespect that you can only give to James St. Patrick.
Because it's when I saw an interview with Lena Waite, basically saying like she's got nothing but love for the actor or whatever, for the guy who played Braden. I forgot the dude's name. You know what I mean? He got nothing love. Where then show him? What the hell? This isn't like a whole Ghost situation where you're like, oh, I can't stand on Mario Hardwick or whatever, so I'm never even going to show him flashbacks or blah 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 blah. Like, no, it's like literally you just refuse to show anything. It's like I wonder if they're going into like their archives and be like season 1 to 3, we're just going to get rid. Like, I was so pissed.
No, because they brought Coogie back.
Yeah,
I know, with 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and his hair is kind of receding a little bit too. You know what I mean? Ghost can age too, I guess. You know what I mean?
It's been a few years.
You know, but yeah, I was so, that was the thing. I was trying to ignore that, David, but I couldn't.
I was gonna bring it up. If you didn't bring it up, I was gonna say it.
I did not want to, but it was so hard for me not to notice because when they did in the beginning, I was like, okay, I let that slide when he was in the bus. When I was like, okay, fine, they didn't show him. But at the end, when he was like gone, like leaving, and then they did the whole Will Smith, the Fresh Prince thing, and they showed everything in his life, I was like, motherfucker, no. I was like, no, flag on the freaking play. No, Braden, that was your day one. Like, I mean, yes, your boys, Jake and Papa, obviously, yes, those two obviously were your day ones. Okay, I get that. You know what I mean? And then you got Keisha,
Brandon,
and then you got
Brandon, yeah.
Braden, yeah.
Braden is
great. Oh yeah. See, you know what? All this shot. All this. Yeah.
Brandon. I messed up last week too. But Brandon.
See,
but
this is exactly what they wanted. They want to make you forget that you even fuck up his name. You know what I mean?
You forget who he was.
Yeah, man.
The bike ride scene was dope. I like that Keisha and Kevin finally interacted.
No, that was not dope. There was no cars. I was like, you're just riding in the middle of the street. It's no traffic at all.
It's TV, y'all. You got to let that slide. You got to let that slide.
Jamani, then you got to be upset when they do it in pretty much every show and movie. Then.
Every show.
They always do that. They always. I hear you. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, but it's just.
I was saying for like one block, but they were like riding for a long time. I was like, true. No traffic.
I feel you.
I hear you, but I like
maybe it was during the active shooter thing and everyone had to stay indoors or something. I don't know, or maybe it was during COVID. Everyone had to stay indoors or whatnot, and they were just breaking curfew.
He's big on the COVID. Yeah. The bike riding scene was cool. Him on the bus is what irritated me because he has a car. Because he said, "I'm making car notes, and that's a lot of money." So I'm like, where's your car? Because that shows progression to your point of we're aging. Like, he should have drove Jake and fucking Papa around in his car, which he's driving to California in. Like, I'm like, where is said ride? But now he's on bicycles.
You say he's driving? He said he's driving to
Yes. He told Nina Andre that car note is killing me. When he was talking about how like he's a grown man now, he has a car note.
I knew he had a car, but I thought that was kind of insinuating that he was getting rid of the car because he's moving anyway.
No, early in the series when he moved out and he was talking like when he came to get the food, he said like car note is killing me, like rent is killing me, like why would you're moving across country, like you're gonna take your car, like that don't even make sense.
I didn't know he was
in real life, and they couldn't film it.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, the things that kind of irritate. So the Keisha and Kevin thing, their running was awesome. Like I love how they tied all that back together again. I thought it was kind of silly though, or ironic that she would be like, Kevin, make sure you use protection and not the pull-out method. Keisha, you're living with Emmett.
You got the poster boy of no pullouts, okay?
No pull, like Kevin.
Well, she hasn't had a kid by him. She's the odd man out as far as Emmett goes.
Jamani, just wait.
This season's not over, and Emmett got the draws for.
I'm about to say, you saw how she was riding. There ain't at least twins in that thing. The way she was riding on top of him, I'm just
come
saying.
on, bro. He definitely finished. The flashbacks were great.
If we're talking about that scene, the scene before that, when they're in the kitchen, I want to start a poll right now.
I
I lost respect for Emmett when he said Miracle Whip. I'm like, male over Miracle Whip every day. Who's male? Who's Miracle Whip in the chat? Come on.
I was more irritated about the number of sandwiches they were making, which was 2. When he has 3 kids, I'm like, especially when he tells Darnell, "I take care of my family. I'm a man. I take care of my family." Your bitch ass takes care of 1 of your 3 kids. Okay, so you don't do shit. And I want to talk about the sex scene. I want to talk about sex. So he gets sex for willing to stay home next week, right? How many times has he dropped everything for Tiffany? Immediately. What happened to your car? It got broken in. No, I'm sorry. I need a car. She immediately got a car. He immediately goes to see Duda to avenge her for getting her car stolen. Then he runs to go help Rob because Tiffany said it. No explanation, no nothing. He drops everything he's doing to go help Tiffany, and Tiffany ain't fucking him for nothing. But Keisha, she's like, "Oh my God, baby, you're gonna stay home next week and I'm unemployed? Here's some ass."
He did give her a house.
Yeah, I'm like, see, the way you think is the reason why guys don't want girls having male friends. It's because you're gonna put stuff like that in her head and then gonna shut down everything. Emmett got the draws. Be happy for him. Why you playing?
No, bro. Emmett's the last one. It was the last one. No, actually, to this point, Keisha did a good thing. She made a good decision. She didn't get with Nuck. I knew she was gonna give up the draws to Nuck. We all knew she was gonna give up the draws to Nuck, and she was like, "No, this is not what I'm doing." I don't know why she had to do that in the mid-drift in the middle of the night, but I'm like, at least she said no. That could have been a phone call or a text. I'm not sure why she had to get in the car, but I was happy with that. That was a positive. That was a very big positive for me because I knew she was going to be like, "F Emmett, I'm going to go back to the former sex trafficker / murderer." But she was like, "No."
Like you said, David, the season ain't over yet. All right. The season ain't over yet. I mean,
the season's not over yet.
Like she's gonna find out he was involved with that drive-by.
Right.
And
I'm done with you. He said, "You know what?" He said, "Who are you shooting at? You were shooting at Nuck. All right, I'm gonna talk to Nuck." And then it'll be Nucking. I mean, it'll be some Nucking and Bucking.
Let's talk about Emmett and the 2 Stooges. So Emmett and Rob decide that these 2 non-experienced, non-street niggas, as Victor / Trigger told them, "You are not qualified for this because you had families and people who loved you," think they're gonna do a drive-by on Duda. And Rob can't even pull the gun down. Just point the gun down. And you make it.
Before you get to that, the scene where they discuss it was the funniest thing in the world because they have to shoot over his shoulder and down. Emmett looked like he was 1 foot tall. I was like, he's talking up to him like he's talking to God or something.
It was childish. It was both of them should have got shot. I lost respect for Duda and for Nuck in this scene because both of them should have known something was up, and both of them should have shot at that car, not knowing who it was, but I figured it had to be Emmett and someone else. So both Emmett and Rob should be in the hospital in critical condition. That's how this episode should have ended, and that would have been a finale. Like I would have been like, "Oh shit." But Emmett just walks away from this shit. Like,
I'm like, you know it was Emmett. He's the one who told you that.
Told you. Even Rob said
it up. They even brought that up. Like, what the hell?
Hey, should we get masks? He's like, "You're the one that called him for this meeting." So what? It was childish how stupid they made Emmett and Rob look in this scene. I did not understand why they did this. Why did they do this?
Don't bring freaking frack, right? And he brought them anyway.
Because he brought Frick. Because
he was gonna bring Zay, but Zay didn't answer the phone.
That's because Alicia seduced him away.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying, but if Duda had it his way, they would have been there.
That doesn't make any sense. If Alicia wanted to lure anyone away, it should have been Nuck. I mean, Nuck is a much more experienced killer. He's bigger. I mean, just in general. I mean, like he's a bigger
we've
threat.
been seeing Nuck show restraint. Zay is the one who's like, I just want to shoot somebody or something like that. Like last episode, Nuck was saying, put the gun down when he was gonna he was pointed at Bakari. So it was like he's trigger happy.
It was so irritating and such a letdown. Like the whole thing was just sad because one of them should have been dead. Rob dead, Emmett in critical condition. Mm-hmm. That would have been a better ending because this episode was a disappointment from that perspective. The reason the actor that plays Kevin Love won an Academy Award and probably thinks this show is holding him back.
He won Academy Award for what?
I think he's joking. I'm sure he's joking. Oh. He has to be. No. What's up, Giovanni?
I was saying, whose car was that? We know that was either Rob or Emmett's car. The back window got shot out. All you got to do is go to one of their places or something like that. You find the car, you know who did it.
It'd be funny if like right before like they sped off, Duda was able to see that there was like a car seat, a baby car seat in the back, and it was like, oh, I know exactly who this nigga is. Like, you know what I mean? I was like,
they already know.
He's like the gun jammed, and he's pulling off a hit with a handgun. I'm like, he needed one of them type of guns that Shad was hiding in the heating vent or whatever. Like
Shad can't hide worth shit. But Shad's the worst, like, bro.
Because I'm like, how are you pulling off a in-car drive? Like, we're shooting at a moving target from a car with a handgun. I'm like,
yeah,
it just didn't make any sense.
Exactly. I was about to say all those other guns, like you said, like your weapon of choices, and against a guy like Duda, your weapon of choice is a 9mm, like just a pistol. Nah, dude, you bring in like you bring in like a machine gun. Make sure he gets lit up, and anybody else is next to him.
Everybody else who's around gets taken care of.
Yeah, like what the hell? That was
like
crazy.
Giovanni, I always notice the unusual things. Yeah. Giovanni has an eye for these things. I must say. I lived in DC for 8 years with a car and still rode the metro sometimes. So I don't think it's weird that he was on the train. I'll give you that, but he still drove out with the car. Like if you're driving away, like I think I'm just saying, just like to see the car. I'm sure they forgot.
That's a good point. You know, I have a car and I take Uber a lot. You know what I mean? And I have taken the bus here and there too. So yeah.
It's possible. What we got? Kevin. Oh, is an Oscar winner, or from Moonlight.
Okay. Well, let's be technical. He didn't win an Oscar. It was Best Ensemble. So it was like the entire part of the cast. So okay, I guess if you want to be technical about it, I guess he did win an Oscar. But he was like 8 years old though. That was before he even did The Shy. That was way before he did The Shy. He was young.
Oh really?
Yeah, Moonlight came out in like 2018.
It came out in 2016.
2016.
Yeah, and The Shy started in 2000.
Yeah, it came out way after before The Shy.
Oh, okay. All right, my bad. I thought it was like only yesterday. Let's talk about Shad and that silly shit. Shad's storyline is so non-existent that the lady wasn't even in the scene when the backs were there.
I know, right? She already moved on to a different show at that point. Like, why did we even get? Okay, look, I love the actor. I love Jason Weaver, but the storyline just for one, which one of us even gave a fuck for one, right? And
nobody.
Two, I was hoping the only thing that made me think was like, okay, maybe it will like lead up to something bigger that has to do with the main story. And of course it didn't. Of course it just didn't. It just became this whole thing like, you know, just a one night stand with Tierra, and then and how does he get caught? Oh, oops, I didn't pay attention to who I sent it to and shit like that. Like the hell?
I was like, what was the point in the text? I'm like he's telling her he's letting her go when I'm like, she don't give a damn whether you live or die. I'm like, it did.
She's right in front of him. Like it's almost like he wanted the text to ping in her pocket as she was talking to Marcus. So Marcus would see her get the text. It's almost like that's what he was trying to achieve in this moment. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense, bro. And then it took Deja all day long to respond to his text. Somehow she packed up all his shit,
and left it inside. So he made him come inside. and if let's just say you talking about the dude, I'm not trying to stereotype as far as like people come from prison, whatever. But imagine you break up with someone who's been locked up for several years, and then you just end it with them. You literally gonna just allow him, like, you ain't gonna lock the doors at that moment. The moment you just take your shit out, like, nah, his shit should have been out on the sidewalk. Right?
Yes,
like thrown out on the sidewalk, and you would have changed that lock right then.
Yes,
and there. It's like no, you know what? I'm gonna let him at least use his key to come inside my house, and then grab his shit, and then hopefully my silverware is still there by the time I come back. Like you know what I mean?
It was ridiculous. Like they didn't respect. At least, but you know what? At least she got a final text, because Keisha is Lala is just does not exist. I mean, she just stopped existing. So I'm like, that's something, I guess, for this show. Like, we got to give them some type of credit for making an effort. But I want to talk about Papa. I want to talk about Papa because I'm happy we finally figured out what he's going to do after graduation, which is what we all said. He's going to become a pastor. He's going to seminary school. I thought that was awesome. He really broke up with Kenya. Like, this is really what we're doing.
I can understand that. I can understand it.
Please explain.
No, I just mean, because here's the deal. He's hurt. So here's the deal. Like, when you lose someone, especially if you're talking about like someone who you kind of depended on, because let's be real, like he wasn't independent in the sense that, like, you know, he was still living under his dad's roof. He like respected the hell out of this man, right? So he's thinking about his old man's wishes and whatnot, and even though he didn't agree with it, I think he wants to kind of make at peace with what his father wanted for him, and he wants to stay there. So, and then unfortunately, it comes at the price of Kenya's heart, in a sense. You know what I mean? I'm not saying what he did was right, but I can understand how someone who's grieving and still and just dealing with that whole idea could just do that. I can see that as someone who grieves. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's rational in the sense of like that, but that's, you know.
I hear you. Jamani, what you got?
I understand where Chris is coming from. I understand what Papa, but I'm like, if I were to be devil's advocate or the devil on his shoulder, I've been like, you know, his father named him Papa for a reason.
Oh, you're so silly.
You're
so silly. Again,
but I'm like, Kenya could have, you know, brought in another Chicago legend, which is John Legend, and started, you know, we're just ordinary people. Let's just take it slow.
How many more we got of this?
Jabari killing it.
Or he should just order it again. And then he's coming, and then he just says, "Go." You know what I mean? He just
Papa and Kenya will get back together. Jackie, I wish
you're right.
I wish you were right. I don't think so. The shy, bruh. Like this is twice. This is twice he rejected her, and he was last week. He was grieving last week, and she understood. You were upset. Your daddy just died. Let's try this again. And he was like, no, like this is my decision. Even Jake gave him sound advice. I like your dad too. I love your dad too. You don't live for your dad. Like, you got to live for yourself. Like, Jake was speaking truth like this episode, because that's a child's response. Like, this woman, at no point did she ask him to be a father. She didn't even tell him she had a kid. So this is not a situation where she's like, if you take me, you got to take my child, for one. But her whole thing
that's what you would have to do, though.
No, you don't.
No.
As Jake and Jim have pointed out, you don't even have to live together to be a couple. Like, no, you don't. Like, we can date. He's not even 18 yet, which was her problem when he pursued her. Like, they're changing. It's like they forgot that he's the one that started this relationship, and she's the one that was like, nah, son.
But you're looking at it as far as dating. If you're in Papa's thing, so I know quite a few people like Papa where even at a young age, when you're dating, you're not dating to date, you're dating for marriage. You know what I mean? And that's how he look. I think that's how he looks at stuff like that. So he's not looking at like, oh, I'm just want to kind of just hook up with you. It's like, nah, I'm gonna see as you being like possibly my forever person.
Possibly.
And that's well, yeah, but the thing is, then why start a relationship if you don't even think that it's possible either?
But again,
and she has a kid, so he's probably like, well, that was probably the best. for him. I'm not saying.
I hear, man. I agree with Papa. That I agree with Jake that he's doing too much. If that's, but I mean, Papa don't got a lot of options to begin with. I think it's just another example of them shitting on Papa. To me, it ain't like he got women lined up. Papa needs to leave that girl. Yeah, no need to be a step parent at age 18 again.
That is kind of early.
She never said you need to be a daddy to this kid. That boy don't even have a name. Actually, I would love to know that boy or his age, but none of this is expressed. Like, who's the daddy? These are the questions he needs to be asking. Like, I could date you, but Papa's not even 18 yet, so this shouldn't even be talked about. I mean, I just thought, again, they're just trying to get rid of Kenya. They want Papa in the background. Like, they want Papa in the background, being the
they're
good
gonna have
boy.
to move him up. Now that Kevin's gone, they're gonna have to move him up. I don't know. Maybe Brittany's is now kind of filling in, or so. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna have.
I think Papa's gonna be away at seminary school. He's not.
He's gonna be away.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that actually.
Jamani, here's why this would be a horrible decision. This will be a horrible decision because if you're telling me all they're doing for the next season of The Chi, or not, or I guess the second half is just like sending all the kids away. Well, now that means all we're stuck with is Emmett.
No, I'm not saying all the kids. I'm saying it's just gonna be Kevin and Papa that's gonna be going. You'll still have Jake and Gemma
and Gemma.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yes, you leaving us with Gemma also.
And Marissa and the new girl.
You're not helping us, Jamani. But yeah,
let's get into this. So Gemma gets mad at Jake and immediately starts to dance for Brittany, and then is surprised.
Hey,
no, you gotta back me up. You're jumping too far ahead. I'm like, let's talk about how she wants to go tit for tat. She has to do she wasn't thinking about moving out until Jake said, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I already worked that out. I got some money, whatever. Oh, so we about to no.
I knew it. Thank you. I'm gonna get on my father's house anyway, and I'm tired of hearing him and Tierra fucking like, ew. Why would you even say that? Like,
I'm like, he says, no, I just need some space for myself right now. We can keep it how we've been keeping it. Oh, you're growing up, so I got to grow up too. She has to do everything that somebody else does just because somebody else is doing it, not for her own reasons. So it's a matter of now she has to go and start dancing and throwing some sort of throwing some signs and signals at Brittany. And I'm like, yeah, if your artist is giving you money and you're the manager who's supposed to be making them money, and she's trying to put it under the guise of, oh, that's 10% of 100,000. So how am I going to get that back to you? And she gave her the correct answer. That's your job.
Yeah, I don't even understand that whole thing. And it's interesting though that it was only Jake that asked the adult question, which was, where did you get that money from? Because Daddy was like, oh, you got some money, and then fucking this is why I'm like, Tierra needs to stay in her lane. Like, you don't get into me and my daughter's conversation about my daughter trying to move out. How much money do you have? Where did you get it from? I got it from Brittany. Who's Brittany? My new artist. Where the fuck did Brittany get it from? Because 10 grand is sex money.
And they're like, it's just as long as it's not illegal. I'm like, there's plenty of things that are legal that as a parent I wouldn't approve of. So I'm not letting the government raise my child and say, well, if it's as long as the government says it's illegal or illegal, I'm okay with it. No,
it doesn't. But the thing is, it doesn't make any sense. Like, even if she told her dad, hey, I got like this little cheap little apartment and it's only like $500 a month, whatever, I would still think that she's doing something illegal because I'm like, you ain't got no money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so screw the 10,000. Even if she said she just had 1,000, I'll be like, question like, where the hell did you get 1,000 from?
Well, I mean, so wait a minute. So Maisha was doing like a show. So I mean, she could be like
one show, and they weren't even really getting paid like that, David.
I'm just saying, like, I could understand. She's like, I'm making money in my little record label idea. I'm like, okay, but I'm like, wait, I like this comment. If this was season 1 through 4, Jake, he would have cussed her out. Him calling her a hoe and calling Brittany her pimp is close to original Jake. But I agree with you. I mean, it would have been a couple of swear words coming out, and then she gets
he wasn't wrong though.
No, and she was looking for a place to stay last episode. Now she is bankrolling.
Yes. Yes, this doesn't make sense. She shows up to Papa's house asking Bakari for a place to live. Now all of a sudden she got 10 grand just to give away. Like this doesn't make any sense. And Gemma, those don't ask the basic question: where did you get this money from? Because if your house is paid with drug money, they're taking that house. Like they don't give a damn if you knew where that money came from or not. Like that's not how that works.
And she didn't give it to you in hand. She electronically transfers it as a paper trail.
It's a dude.
As far as all the women on this show goes, Gemma is the one that has fallen like straight up just fallen just the worst. Like in the sense of like where she came from originally or whatnot. She was just I'm still amazed what they turned her character into. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like we talk shit about like, Tiffany and we talk about stuff about Keisha and Nina and whatnot. But god damn, like they started really strong with Gemma, right? And then now it's like she's over there, like you said, she would have easily like the moment that she was just first introduced, $10,000, she would have questioned where the hell that money came from, right? She would have done all of this, right? And then now all of a sudden she's like dancing next to someone's, and then all of a sudden like, oh hey, I got a boyfriend or whatnot, and then getting pissed off because your boyfriend don't want you to move in with them, and it's like y'all ain't really like just because y'all having sex, like all of a sudden you just think that equates to y'all moving in. I'm like, I was like, what the hell? Like, what's going on with this girl? It's just, I'm so amazed what they turned this character into. You know what I mean? It's just like, and that's why I had to go on my little rant last week about like, what are y'all doing with this messaging to women or whatnot, you know, with the show. So it's just, I'm just amazed what they do with her, especially. You're just like,
Jim, I don't know. I don't like how they made Gemma some boss. Like how? Like, I don't even understand the attitude and power they've given her when, again, your artist is paying you. Like, that's not how a record label works. Like Brittany doesn't even need Gemma at this point because she can make her own music, apparently pay for her own fucking studio time. Yeah. Clearly, all she's trying to do is have sex with you.
To pimp her out, just like what Jake said.
That's it. Like, that's it. So I'm like, and Jake is right. So when, I don't know. And then Gemma went from trying to be Rosa Parks to imitating. Yes.
No, she's more like Young Miami getting with Diddy. That's what that is. All right. That's what that's like. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
I don't understand. It hurts me. Like again, Chris and I completely agreement. Like she was the character I was rooting for to be something, to be an example. And then back to the flashbacks. I really love how Kevin is romanticizing when Maisha basically sexually assaulted him when he was a kid.
Oh, he was like pulling the roller skating thing.
Pushing him against the wall, licking his face. I forgot about that. Licking his face and kissing him. This is assault. Like he did not want any of that. And he's like, yeah, that's my baby right there. I was like, this is not okay. There's so many bad messages in this show for young children. I was like, no means no, damn it.
I forgot how young. Jesus, man. Like when they did it for life, I'm like, man, they were young as hell.
They were young as hell. This really, minus the whole stupid ass stuff with Kevin and with Emmett and Rob, this could have been the series finale for the children. If this was really based on they have lives after high school, you know what's happening to each one of them. We're gonna stay in contact. Done. Like, you know, we're flashing back to how it all began, and their futures are what they make of it. Like it could have been it. It could have been it. But I do not want to see Kevin again. I mean, for real, like he needs to be a text message from now on. Like
I like Kevin. I just didn't like that they gave him like stupid storylines. But I like you. But you're just, are you tired of seeing Kevin, or you just think that he's just annoying to you?
With all the endings they gave him, the last 3 episodes have been his episodes, his goodbye episodes, his speech at the school, his speech at his going away party, like Emmett giving him one last big brother conversation. Like he's had plenty of Will Smith last episode moments. Like done. After all of that, if he's in episode 9, I'm like, what are we doing? Like I can't keep on doing this. That's what I'm saying. So like this emotionally, I need him to be gone for a very long time. But Jake still got a life. He's still gonna be made. I swore I was gonna say this joke in our Force video. One of those guys that got arrested, one of the CBI guys, I would have loved to found out that Jake made his sweater because it said shy on it. I would have been like, Jake made that sweater. I need more crossovers, damn it. Coogie's ghost was bullshit. That was terrible writing.
Yeah, first of all, shouldn't have been Ronnie that should have popped up. Let's be real. Ronnie should have been there. Ronnie. Like you killed him.
No, but with Coogie, I've been asking this question and I've been forgetting to say this this whole season we've been reviewing it, is how close was he to Coogie to have killed Ronnie? I mean, it just didn't make any sense. I'm like, we have no connection to them. It doesn't. He hasn't said, yeah, Coogie. We used to. He let me stay in his crib, kind of like how Papa is doing now. It didn't show any sort of bonded connection. It was just like, this is some guy I knew around the way, and now I'm retaliating.
So a couple of notes with that. Like, where was Bakari when he's passed out drunk? Is he in Papa's house? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, because where else do you have to go?
So I'm like, how are we explaining? He has Papa has a mama, a grieving widow.
She's probably crying upstairs though. So she
No. Like, one, he shouldn't even be in the house because he works for the man who killed my husband. And now you are drunk and all kinds of shit on you get up and get out. Like, I can't have any of this. The fact that Papa allows that to continue to happen in his house doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, why is he staying with Brittany? If anything, like, shouldn't he stay with his sister? Stay with your sister.
Hey, since as we talked about last week, those guns are still sitting in Nina and Dre's house. Like, no one has found those bag of guns yet, apparently, because it's the Shy. Like, that should have been. They should have found those at the party. Like something. Kevin is going through his old room. He finds the guns. What the guns doing here? Something. Like, this doesn't make any sense, man. Bakari had liquor on his chest, laid out on the sofa. Like, this, he's acting like he's a grown man in his own place. There's no way any sensible adult will allow that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Papa, I don't know why he's allowing it to happen, but there's no way his mama should be okay with that.
Right.
Like,
right. Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Somebody said it. Jake did ask where the money came from. He's the only one asking any real serious questions.
Well, no, he was asking Gemma where did Gemma get the money from? But didn't ask where did Brittany got the money from. You know what I mean? Like,
she probably looked at Brittany and been like, at his point, he's like, I know why.
Knows.
Yeah, he knows. He knows. Like, come on.
Knows what's up. Yeah, he been around the block. He knows what's up.
I met her. I know where she got that money from. But do you fully appreciate where she got that money from?
Yeah.
Since Bakari's sister had $10K to spend on Bakari, should he be with her? Yes. Like, immediately. Papa and Widow should have kicked Bakari out last week.
Mm-hmm.
And he should be staying with his sister right now. I forgot about the bag of guns, just like the writers did, apparently. These writers
and apparently everyone forgot about washing money or whatnot. So now all of a sudden, dude is like, hey, Zay just really, he's like, he figured out how we can wash our money. I'm like, are you kidding me? Wait, what was that piece of joint? Like, what do you told me your little underling thought of a way to do this? Like, it's just so weird. Like, dude, you
how
smart.
About Smokies? I mean, as Jamani pointed out,
I thought it was. I thought that was.
He says he has 3 locations: 2 in Chicago, 1 in New York. But we still need another place to wash money. And you have Tony from Girlfriend's Place.
Yes.
You have a chop shop or auto, whatever.
Well, you can't clean good money in a dirty place, man. But the smokehouse, I agree. The Smokers Club, I agree, and Smokies definitely. But I don't understand.
At this point, you have to go to Glorious. You have to go to Glorious and wash money there.
The strip club. Yo. Also, Emmett proves that it doesn't matter how old you are, you can still be a child. Because when he gets in trouble, he runs to his mommy and daddy, and it was like, I need help. And then daddy's like, sit your ass down. I'll take care of this. And I'm like, be a man, like, be an adult. Like you put yourself in this situation. Take yourself out. Like, Keisha should have left last week in a car. Her and Ronnie should have got up out of that situation. But
But Vic called him out. Vic, like everything Vic said was like he was on it, man. He was on it. He called on both of their numbers, man. Talking about like, yo, you never had like Rob, you living under this big old house or whatnot, and you, my nigga, like you, Emmett, you know, you running your mom for everything. It's just funny that the writers obviously recognize this, that they have actors say these lines, but then I don't know, but they don't back it up. It's just so weird. It's just, I find it so awkward, is that they'll call themselves out on it and then they just don't react to it.
So Victor's choice to try to go out there and kill Duda himself, like, it's interesting how they portray a black community that is more honorable to kill another member of the black community than it is to call the cops and get said criminal arrested. Like, none of them say call law enforcement. The FBI is looking into Duda. No. I'm not a snitch. We should just murder the man because that's how we do it. I'm like
Vic is in the city council.
Yes, he's a city council.
Okay, so why did he call Marcus into the meeting and say, let's get him the legal way? But you know, he's not that smart enough to say there's only the street way or just do nothing. It's not, let's try to get him.
Let's talk about, we got options.
Yeah, let's get a plan where we trap him, we get him when he's with money and guns or money and drugs or something, and we can arrest him then. That's not even a possibility, even though he's on the right side of the law now. He can't even think that way.
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. Bakari still lives at Papa's house, right? Yeah, he does. Somehow. It's the shy. I don't know. In real life, Bakari is 20 and that is his real sister.
Yeah. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. We talked about that last week. I mean, it's cool. What we got? Ghost. What? Victor's just like Ghost, and when they wear a dark outfit, somebody's about to die. Mm-hmm. So I hear where you're trying to go with that. I feel like that's disrespectful to Ghost because like this is the first time we saw Victor put on his super killer outfit, and he's not going to kill Duda. I mean, because we already did this storyline.
Remember though. Oh, you mean he won't be successful? Okay.
That's what I'm saying. And this is the second time. This is the second time we tried to kill this man. Yeah, if we try again, this is ridiculous. Like, damn it.
No, I wanted this episode to be more like The Godfather. I'm like, when Rob ended up in the hospital, forget about all that conversation that Tiffany was having or whatever. They should have been trying to move that body up out of the hospital, hide it in a secret wing, use money to get Rob away. Because I'm like, if Vic can run up to the hospital and be like, oh, yeah, it went all wrong, blah, blah, blah. How long is it going to take Duda to be like, he's the shooter?
Well, how would you know about? I mean, but he wouldn't know about Rob.
He would know about Emmett.
The Emmett thing. The Emmett thing.
No, he would know about Emmett. But I'm saying somebody comes in with a gunshot wound, and you know, I shot the person that was in the car who was shooting because the gun jammed.
Jamani, right? Do you know how many people die? How many people get shot daily in Chicago? I hate to just say it like that, but it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, the cops. Well, I think. Well, Jamani, I see Jamani's point that somebody should be talking. The street should be talking, and should be easy to find him. But
yeah, I'm saying like a lot of people might get shot in the shy, but I'm like, you should be. Rob should be on your radar, like people that you know or have dealings with on your radar. Like
Rob should be on the radar because by now, Nuck should have told Duda that Rob has been asking about who killed Quincy. That conversation should have happened by now. So you're right. Nuck. I mean, yeah, Duda should be worried about Rob, but Nuck hasn't said anything for some reason.
Well, because
like Zay was with Alicia or whatever. You know, Nuck is just like, I hope it was good, but I'm like, are we gonna ever connect all of these dots that it was Rob? Zay was with the mother, like. These are the people who were in the car. It was Emmett and Rob. Like it's very easy to connect the dots.
Like when you said, they're gonna find that car somewhere, and then they're gonna be like, it had to be Rob and Emmett. Clearly, Emmett's on top of the list. Clearly, I mean, because Daddy's tried. Emmett stepped to Duda. Darnell came to see Duda about Emmett. Emmett's the one that called unless they have a meeting. Emmett's gonna get shot next episode.
It ain't that. I'm telling you, this is the Shy. This is what I'm gonna tell you. Okay, it will be very brief that they're gonna think Emmett did it. Okay, and I'll tell you, come on, let's not forget what show we're watching. What was going to happen is obviously, like number one suspect is going to be Emmett at first, right?
And no, first suspect is going to be his father, because they're gonna say that.
Sure.
Oh, all right.
They're gonna think that he was doing it for Emmett to get him out.
Sure. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is the whole thing about blaming Emmett or even anyone in his family. The whole thing will be like going like, oh, we need to out, like he'll have some alibi or whatnot, and then maybe for 30 minutes, an entire freaking episode of episode 9. At that point, yes, Duda is going to think it's Emmett or his daddy or whatever, and after that 30 minutes, it's going to be like moved around to Zay. Like, interesting enough, Zay wasn't there or whatever. It's going to be turned to Zay, and then Zay is going to be implicated instead, and then not forgetting that there was 2 people in the car or some shit like that. You just see what I'm saying? That's how. Come on, like I've been watching the show for 6 seasons. He's going.
Was it Bakari? Huh? Or was it Bakari? Because remember, you said the title of this episode was "Who Shot You."
It could have been. It could have been.
Who shot you was Rob? Well, yeah.
Like I said, they could blame Zay, kill Zay, and then say it was him, and just chalk it up to whatever. So Emmett and Darnell are fine.
Because think about it, that would make a perfect reason for Nuck to kill Zay, because then like after the whole chess scene and whatnot, like Zay, like Nuck comes up to Zay and be like, says that just to let you know I know how to play chess. Checkmate, nigga. And then pull the trigger, and then that's it.
Duda got to pay. Duda got to pay. We actually used that line when they, as Jackie pointed out. Yes, we already did the who shot Duda storyline. This is actually better though. Like they should have waited for this season, because this makes a lot more sense than what they did. But yeah, we did the whole who shot Duda thing. And it was very anticlimactic when they answered the question.
It really was.
I mean, but this would make a better mystery. But we can't be doing this every season, bro. Like this can't be the formula.
But speaking of his father, speaking of Darnell, when Darnell gave him the money, if you were in Darnell's shoes, would you have been able to walk out of there without them just like him keeping the money, talking about like, hey, doing like, no, you just do me a favor. No, that's how your son got stuck in this. Talking about like, you got to do a favor for me. I'm like, no, I would have probably only done the whole favor thing if I would have made a stipulation say, you do the favor with me, get my son out, like make my son is done at that point.
Yeah,
and you take the money. Anything less than that, nah, dude. Like I ain't leaving out of this thing. Like I guess I get shot up or get my ass whooped or something. Like I don't understand how. I mean, I think what Darnell is doing this season is awesome, in my opinion, as far as actually stepping up to be the father that he should have been when Emmett was growing up and whatnot, and what he was saying. And you were right what you were saying about Jada before. Like Jada's just there because Jada's just like, oh, I don't know. She reminded me of Oprah in Color Purple. Like, all my life I had to fight. Just sitting there with her hair all out. I'm like, bro, I was like, just let Darnell. I can't believe I'm saying this, but let Darnell do all the talking. I'm like, damn, those words actually came out of my mouth. Like,
that's because that's how they've written these characters now. It used to be Jada and all Jada, but like you said, now they're putting Darnell into the "I saved my son" speech. Jada was consistent. She was like, don't yell at Emmett. He knows he did something wrong. She's already like forgiven him, but they want Darnell to be a dad. They want Darnell to be a dad and stand up. And again, maybe the season's not over. They got 8 more episodes. Maybe he does die for his son. Tracy needs to be used to take down Duda. Duda still has a weakness for Tracy. No, Tracy still has a weakness for Duda. Like Duda appreciates the draws, but he ain't weak over her. But it would be nice for Tracy to be. I want to talk about the Snowfall situation, because I texted Kim and said that Tiffany turned into Lou and Rob turned into Jerome this episode, because it was and Emmett actually she put Emmett and Rob into death's way. Like that was her fault. And like I was like, but definitely Rob getting shot reminded me of Jerome. And I was like, but because Tiffany's always about that this weed business by any means necessary.
No, but the Lou thing was his mother though. His mother kind of made it seem like we gotta take him out. But you're right. No. I mean, I think it was a little bit. I think it was both. I think Lou was both his mother and Tiffany.
But I'm saying, but he wouldn't have been there, as I think Alicia pointed out. He wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for Tiffany. Tiffany's saying we need this money now to make this business now. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And then she immediately runs to Emmett and it's like, you gotta fix this. I gotta fix what? What's up, Jamani? What's up? Sorry.
That was I can't stand Tiffany. Like, oh my god, like she'd be the worst baby mother to have. I'm like she is sitting there in the dining room or whatever, talking to Emmett about, you gotta hook up with Rob and find a way out or whatever, which all happened off camera. All we just see is him and Emmett and Rob talking to Vic. The Emmett and Rob conversation, off camera, we never see that. But you have to get involved. Why do I gotta get involved? Because it affects me and your child. Everything that happens with her is me and your child. I'm like, no, the hell it don't. If Duda kills you and Rob, I will take my child and we will live happily. I'm like,
exactly.
I'm like, the kid is not in danger, right?
Yeah.
It's a matter of you being the child's mother and I can't be there to be Captain Save-A-Hole to your stupid decisions all the time because you're the mother of the kid. I'm like, it just it's getting very old with her. Just that's the answer to everything is me and your child.
But she also knows though that Emmett will drop everything to come to her aid, which he won't do for the woman he's living with.
Yeah, she got to wait a week.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm like, she got to wait a week. But I'm saying, I'm thinking this is real life. Tiffany knows what she means to Emmett. And Keisha, some reason, don't seem to realize what Tiffany means to Emmett, and that should be a conversation, therapy or otherwise. But that's something that really needs to be talked about, because that's a problem. Tiffany was concerned that Duda would come for her and Emmett's child. She's just playing at Emmett's heartstrings. That's all she's doing, because Duda's never threatened no kind of child, and Rob. Right. He's worried about Rob specifically, and he killed Quincy, which actually helps them, right? Because Quincy was a problem, you know what I'm saying? I mean, for a lot of people. Yeah. So I don't even get it. Emmett forgot the lesson Sonny taught him, which is make your money the right way.
Well, that's because Sonny doesn't exist. Okay, Sonny no longer exists.
Yeah, Sonny don't exist on either show. Yeah. Damn it. he just stops existing. He don't even get the respect of being killed.
He moved out of Chicago, and it's like.
I know Emmett is slow. I got the Trig had me rolling when it was just because just tall don't mean but just because y'all don't know what it means to be a gangster. Because you're tall don't mean you're a gangster. Try and get that. His
mother has said, was saying, he's never wanted to, he's never had ambition.
Oh. Damn.
I'm like, and she's talking to him. It's like, yeah, you better wake up so I can put my foot in your ass. Because why is you still talking to this chick? You know you're supposed to keep stuff within the family.
Alicia, I like. It's weird how Alicia all of a sudden has become some type of like godfather herself, and I'm like, what crew does she have that she's somehow worse than Duda? It's just her. And if she had a crew, why are you sending your inexperienced son to go kill this dude? Like that doesn't make any sense. But I mean, she was a distraught mother. Her son is in the hospital, so that's fine. But she's probably gonna get killed off this season. I don't see her going to season 7. Emmett is slow. Yes. I do feel like that. He's a pampered child. He really is a spoiled child that everybody takes care of for some reason. Who's bigger, Trig or Fatima? Damn. You mean height wise or pants wise? Probably. I don't know. I want them to have a serious conversation on how they're going to quote unquote start a family, though.
Wait. What? Did that question say what I thought it said?
No,
Who's bigger?
Who's bigger, Trig or Fatima?
You know damn well they're not talking about height.
I think she's talking about height.
No,
that's what I'm like.
Stop it.
I don't know. I don't
You're
want to know.
You know you're wrong. You know you're wrong. You know damn well.
I'm just saying. I don't know. They need to,
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
They need to expound on Alicia's stories. Next half. She hasn't really been useful. Really. To be honest. So I thought they were gonna do more with her character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. I agree. Amani was more interesting than Fatima. Amani wasn't afraid to get gangster.
There was actual backstory. There was actual backstory of like, I guess she basically was like in the sex industry or whatever. I mean, what do you call it? Like a
trafficking,
kidnapped or whatever. What do you call it?
Yeah, she was trafficked. She was
trafficked. Sex traffic. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word.
You know. I think no. I think Fatima is post-op. I don't think so. I don't think so. Either way, I'm sorry. I really should be going down this road. I'm just saying, like, this time I want to start a family. I was just like, I don't know how that's biologically going to work, and we're going to get into that.
David, really, David.
And I'm like,
David.
I'm just saying.
Why?
I'm just saying.
Why are you being like, dude, David?
I'm just asking.
You know damn well too. David,
I'm just saying.
You see two grown men like starting families.
So I'm saying, if they're going to adopt, I mean, we could get.
They got to get married first, don't they? If they're going to adopt, right?
Yeah, they can adopt again, or Victor can be a surrogate. He can get a woman pregnant and find a surrogate. I mean, this is a very progressive show. I mean,
no, Tiara is going to be the surrogate.
Yes. I want that season 7. Tiara is pregnant with Victor's baby that she's carrying for him and Fatima.
Yeah.
Yes.
The stipulation is that he actually has to climb on top of Tiara, like do it the old school method. Yeah.
Yes.
And then next thing you know, he hits over Sean like, damn, you right, man. That pussy got me whipped, man.
Oh, dude. Yes.
So man, we were all sprung, man. We're all sprung.
Shad has to know that Tiara is walking around pregnant with Victor's kid, and Victor still has not given Shad a job. For the record, this man has cried about not having gainful legal employment since this entire season, and his best friend has failed to even give him a job.
No, I mean that's all Rashad though. Rashad's pride is the reason why he doesn't have a job, hasn't been given a job by Victor. You know what I mean? Like, how often was it when someone tried to offer him a job? He's like, "No, man, I want to do it my way. Like, I want to be like, you know what I mean? I want to earn it or some shit." He said, "I'm like, dude, just take what was being offered in front of you, man. You know what I mean?"
I'm like, he's doing the gigs with Darnell, and he's like, "This is it. Like, your room and board is already paid for." So I'm like, "What? How much spending money are you looking for a side gig?"
I don't know. I mean,
and especially you talking about what in South Chicago, and you're a con, like you're a felon, like you're an ex-felon, like yo, you gotta take what you can get, man. Like, you know what I mean? Just chill out with the whole like, oh, this is it. We're making like, chill out, man. Just like
Kevin went to go to join the Rocket Dude.
Live with someone rent free and get money. So
I love it. She said Kevin's gonna be on Tyler Perry's show.
Bracket what's that name?
The Rockadushi. That's the name of that's the name of the cult that Crystal Ball runs on Tyler Perry's show, the Ruthless. That's what she
now
said.
I understand that one commenter talking about stop bringing up other shows because I have no idea what the hell y'all talking
about.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Whoa. Victor can pay Shad to be a cook for the house. Okay. All right. He can hire him to work at Smokey's because remember, it was Dominique who was the cook of Smokey's. She's the one that made Smokey's what it was. Fucking Papa doesn't cook, and neither does Emmett. So that would be a great job. I mean, he could run the New York branch that we'll never see. But that's the way we can get him off the show.
Do you think we'll finally have him actually like want to working for Duda? First he said he wouldn't. But now he ain't got no home. I'm assuming he still has, I don't know, maybe he still has that job with Darnell. But he's not happy with that job. So I thought the moment he started complaining to Darnell about the money made me thinking like, oh shit, he's gonna go to do that.
I mean, he already did that. I mean, he could. I mean, but he messed up with the guns. So I mean, I don't see what Duda can use him for. because
Well, that wasn't him working for him. It was just like Bakari dumping the guns at his place. Like it's just he just did. You know what I mean? I wouldn't call it. That wasn't him working for Duda. It was just more of like, hey, little nigga, here's some guns. Keep it safe. Whatever.
He was working the cars. He was working at the chop shop, which they still haven't explained the point of the chop shop. I mean, he can go back to that. I mean, he can go to your point. He can go back to the life. I mean, he could. I mean, dude is always looking for somebody to work. I just don't give a fuck about Shad. I mean, I think he just needs to go somewhere. So Marcus thinks I think Shad will start working for Duda again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that's probably what he's gonna end up doing. But I really don't care about his whole like trying to sell vintage stuff. None of that shit matters.
I get that, but I'm like, I care more about Shad as a character than I do Vic. I'm like, Vic just needs to get scooped up by the feds or something for constantly telling any and everybody,
that he helped the body. Call the FBI. Like, I can't believe the FBI has not found the chop shop by now. Everybody knows where the chop shop is at. Like, everybody. Like, this is as ignorant as fucking the FBI not knowing that Tommy hangs out with Diamond at the barbershop. Like, that's every day. Like, how do you not know that? I don't know. And you haven't seen FBI since. You haven't seen law enforcement since. We have no idea what law enforcement is doing about Duda. What they know, what they don't know. Because it's
okay. When you get shot, right?
The cops come.
Yeah. And Tiffany, Alicia's in the hospital. Where are they?
It's the Shy, bro. like Lena Waite says, no cops will be here. If this was season 1 or 2, cops would have been there first thing. I want to see the interaction between Jake and Duda, since Duda used to take care of him in season 3.
It's going to act like it never existed. I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, they're not going to go back to that. They're not going to go back to that. But it was interesting. It was an interesting relationship, but they're not. Yeah, they're not going to go back to that. Just like everything else and many other things, they just kept on moving on. I got this. Shad's vintage stuff or Famous's mixtapes. Interesting. I think Famous has more of a shot. I mean, at least that's original product. I would submit. But I'm getting tired.
And the streets need a body now. Next when they come back, the streets will need a body for shooting at Duda.
We will see. So is that your prediction? We gotta get up out of here. Your prediction is what, Jamani? So somebody getting shot episode 9?
I don't know if somebody's gonna get shot. It might just be one of those episodes where everybody's suspicious of somebody, of everyone, and it's just like calling in different people. Where were you? Asking questions and stuff. I don't think anybody's gonna actually get shot. I would say I leave that to probably episode 10.
All right. So but your prediction implies that no one's gonna figure out that Rob's in the hospital right now with a gunshot.
I'm like, they should have found out. I'm like, unless Rob is supposed to, because he's still buying weed from Duda, unless he misses a meeting or something like that. As Chris is saying, people get shot every day. He's not going to be on Duda's radar as it would seem. But I think that should. He should at least know about it, just from through the wire, through the grapevine. People are talking, Rob's in the hospital with a gunshot.
Yeah.
I should be looking into that. Like, this sounds suspicious. Like,
yeah.
But I think it's going to be more or less him trying to figure out, was it Emmett or was it Darnell? Or was it Zay or was it, trying to investigate which one of those three, so to say it was. As soon as he finds out that Rob was in the mix, then he'll probably say, yeah, it was Rob and Emmett. And then we'll, that'll be like the cliffhanger that starts, goes into episode 10. Maybe Alicia might try to be proactive and try to, before Duda finds out, let me do something to Duda. Let me send some real professionals after him or something like that.
Finally.
Yeah. To before he finds out and tries to finish the job in the hospital,
All right. So we got some options. We got some options.
Please find the guns. Find the guns.
They're not your mommy. They will not find the guns, and just like the cops will not be taken to the hospital, even though nurses are required to report every gunshot victim that goes into the hospital. You will not see the cops even showing up there either. Like,
this is basic shit, and the Shy says no.
No, like no.
No,
It's
no
like,
to
well,
all.
legally speaking, you got to no. Like
No.
Law and Order, even Law and Order, no,
No.
no.
And I must say, the best part of this episode was the people who weren't in the episode at all, which was Common and Vic Mensa, which had the closing song of South Side Story.
It's actually he wasn't part of Flashbacks either. I mean, damn. It's a lot of people didn't make the reel. But anyway, Jamani, thank you very much. I will see you again. Chris, any final words?
Yeah. So with this being, I guess, Kevin's farewell episode, I don't know. I'm just kind of curious about the, I guess, the real direction they're going to go with it. It seems like, to your point, I think you were saying this like weeks ago. You kind of, at this point, even though I want to see Duda to be moved off of this whole story arc thing, it seems like they at this point need to kind of keep Duda to have some sort of plot, like, you know what I mean? Because that's, I mean, all these small plots like they have is like as far as like creating like a marijuana farm and shit like that, like, you know what I mean? It's not, and they're not really doing much with the whole political scene thing, and like, and they're not going to show us any debates. They're not going to show who he's going against, so whatnot, because they don't want you to see all that and have to actually start researching how to do shit like that. They're just, trying to avoid all that. So I feel like they have to keep using this criminal narrative of Duda. So if you would have asked me like a while back, like what my predictions would be when they come back for episode 9, I would say Duda dies. But now I'm like, yo, they would have to introduce someone else, another big baddie, then he dies, right? So episode 9, I'm gonna say this. I think Rob does die. I think Rob's gonna die. I think episode 9 when we come back, right? In real life, he's I mean, not that it'll probably affect him, whatever. He's going through some struggles in real life. I mean, I think he's going through a divorce at the moment. Not that that affects anyone from doing the show necessarily. Well, Kevin Costner though. So maybe I'm wrong about that. But I feel like he's going to have to be the one that goes, if not maybe Darnell. I don't think anybody from our main cast are like at least our favorites are going to go, especially seeing how Kevin is now gone. I hope for that young man that's leaving, though I didn't like the way he left or whatnot, in the sense of just the whole video game thing or whatever. I hope nothing but the best for that kid. I think it was awesome seeing him grow throughout the show. I really do think he's a really great actor, and going back from Moon Knight to Black Panther, the little second in the very end of Black Panther, just to see him grow, you know what I mean, to now being a grown man and whatnot. I think that's pretty dope. So I would say, at least for his ending arc, this was a really great episode for it. You know what I mean? And I would say overall the episode was good. Just minus the whole, like you said, like just the whole stupid shooting and why they were shooting to begin with. But yeah, I'm just hoping they bring up the same energy, have the same type of energy when they come back in episode 9. And yeah, come on, writers. I don't know. Do we know anything about this whole writer strike affecting any of them coming back?
Well,
do we know any of this?
I think the show they shoot this like a year out, so this show is fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
yeah. So it's not that like the way premium shows work. I mean, that stuff is done again like a year ago. Like Power and all them, all that stuff is in the can. Like it's next season that you got to worry about.
So season 7 might be an issue.
Yeah, season 7 might be an issue, but season 6 should be taken care of. That's what
Okay. Okay.
In my experience with these type of shows, so I think we're gonna be fine. Yeah, because it's usually shot in the winter for one. Remember, like usually the Shy is shot in the winter. You can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like with the snow and everything. So this so this season.
So it'll be around probably next month is when they would essentially try to be shooting next season. Essentially. Yeah. About that time. So yeah. But anyway, that's all I got. Again, really great episode for the most part. Again, don't have really huge predictions about the next episode because they drive straight and then all of a sudden they just veer off. So that's it for me.
Thanks,
See
Chris.
you guys. See you on 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. Some final questions that I asked question too. What happened to Big Mike? I have no idea. He's definitely not around. That's a good question. When will the show return? Also, I personally do not know. But we'll be here when it does. And Duda won't be killed until episode 15. 16th will be the aftermath. And finally, I can see Duda killing Darnell. I can see that being the season finale. But as Chris pointed out, and we talked about this too, I think Duda is the show. At least for me. I mean, if Duda was gone, I truly, as much as we love talking about it and you guys interact with us and we appreciate it, I cannot see just watching a show without Duda. And Emmett or somehow is the main character in his shenanigans. That would irritate me. But anyway, we'll see what happens with all these shows. We might have 2 reviews tomorrow. Check the channel. I gotta see who's gonna be reviewing with me. Hopefully Stacy and or Kim will be back tomorrow. But overall, we will see you guys again. Thank you very much. Again, hang out and check out our new exits. Thanks to Jamani, is really nice. Again, see you next time. I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching us, people in the chat.
I enjoy the view very much. I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this. Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You're going to be like, oh, shit.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
You want to go ahead?
Oh, shit. Stacey, do your thing. Fuck that shit.
But anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just going to end this broadcast and say bye.